I hope you are doing well despite the current market conditions. I think we have some cool news that we can share with you to lighten up the spirit. As for the agenda for today's meeting, so we'll start with the marketing update. So primarily our recent listing on MEXC, so a centralized exchange. We would also like to share results of the rewards program, which are really great. And we'll talk about this in a moment, as well as the social media growth, because we've observed a very cool incentives on Twitter from users and also bigger engagement and so on. So we also cover that. Then we will move to the even more important part, so to the platform development update. So to discuss the upcoming releases, Move Exchange and staking. And this will be connected with each other, and we'll conclude with the AMA. So I think we can get going. As for listing on MEXC, so it's worth mentioning that already more than 10 billion move was traded in the first couple of days, which is a very good result. And the listing itself is very important for two reasons. So first, bigger exposure and bigger credibility. People who are not that familiar with the centralized exchanges, or just are more into sexes, will be more willing to go there because this might be easier. And even more important, MEXC is an exchange which has great exposure in Asia. This can be a very cool thing once the market stabilizes, to get to new users, to get more holders, and so on. And the last point is something I've already covered. So like this bigger exposure, which is also connected with easier access for people who are more keen to use centralized exchanges. And we also plan to use this for bigger credibility. Also, even at this point, we jumped up, I think, like 1,000 places on CMC ranking, thanks to this single listing. And I think we'll continue to climb further. So it's also very important to mention the technical aspects of this listing, so the liquidity, the market making, and so on. So Marius will cover that. If you, Marius, could take this over.
Sure. So just so you know, there is so we have hired a professional market making firm. This is very important. This was actually one of the listing requirements, but this is something that pretty much all of the cryptos at a significant point in their life cycles have to do. So the idea is that they help to stabilize the market between different exchanges and on the exchanges themselves. So you can see their activity on the PancakeSwap. It's also seen on the MEXC exchange. So you can see, for example, some buys and sells. And if you look closely, those buys and sells do not pay taxes. So this is deliberate. And this is not buying or selling. This is actually moving funds from one place to another. So, for example, they may buy tokens on the MEXC and then sell it on the PCS to make sure that the price is stabilized across exchanges. So there is no such like discrepancy, let's say 50% difference of prices, because that could happen if we didn't have that. So we have fully liquid markets thanks to this activity. We have bigger trading volume and more fair prices no matter where you trade. So that's one.
I can maybe so I can maybe add one more thing to that. So just the primary reason is to balance prices between MEXC and PCS to make sure that no arbitrage can be done here, and this is like the primary reason. And market making is basically something which every major company uses, including Binance, both for spot trading, both for futures. So this is very important step here. But Marius, please continue. The second point.
So to be able for this to work, we had to provide liquidity. for the market making firm. So this is still in our custody, but we transferred some of the liquidity from the swap and liquify function to the market making wallets, and right now
it makes as well primarily. So for people to first be able to trade on MEXC. So this is like the first part of the liquidity from swap and liquify, and to the market making firm as well.
Yeah, pretty much covers it. So these steps can explain, for example, the activity that you have may have noticed. So that's this.
Yeah, so we can move to the next point. So to rewards program results, if you look at the screenshot here, so and the image, so you can see that the first place received by current prices with the current market conditions, and all the swings, something around 10K in move, and this is worth mentioning that the program attracted YouTubers who engage organically. So if you search for MarketMove on YouTube, you can see that some YouTubers started posting these links and so on. So this is only the very beginning of the program, but it's already proven that it works. And we plan to continue on using that. And I think that this will be another incentive for promoters in the future to support the project. And another thing is that the current feature buy move on the website, which is like the, let's say, intro to Move Exchange, was already used a lot of times, and it's over $1 million spent via this single feature since the introduction. So I think that's a very, very good score, and it also proves that people really prefer like simplicity over dealing with things like slippage, over dealing with things like having to worry about liquidity and so on. So just just connect your wallet and you're good to go. And this will be something which we'll cover in a moment as well, discussing the exchange, so the upcoming feature, because the simplicity and the ease of use are one of our goals here. But before we move to this point, so basically, apart from rewards, apart from the listing, so some cool things which already happened. We've observed a very big social media growth. Our Twitter has definitely improved a lot. So has definitely improved a lot, both from the perspective of engagement. So we have a lot of new followers who are really, really into discussing with us. As you can see here, much more impressions, much more profile visits, mentions, and so on. And this is only the beginning, but we want to continue working on that, not only on Twitter, but also on other social media platforms. But Twitter will probably be the main focus for now, because even observing the current situation with Luna, with Terra, you can see that the primary discussion is taking place on Twitter. So this is the primary medium for crypto, apart from Telegram, Discord as well. Yeah, but let's move to more technical things and I think more exciting things. So upcoming releases. Marius, if you could take over.
Right. So MEXC listing was something that was very much awaited for, and I think it worked out really, really well, taking into consideration the volume and the trading activity. So, but perhaps even more importantly for the fundamentals of the entire project is that we are very close to release the core of the platform, which is the Move Exchange and staking. And these two come together. I mean, the exchange will be released first, and then staking afterwards to complete this. And so it will be a system that will aggregate the different DEXs, different liquidity pools to give you the best price for a swap. And to do that, it will charge a small fee in the Move tokens. which will be then distributed as staking rewards, giving the utility to the token. So with this, you will be able to earn the shares of the revenue from the platform. So this is coming soon. Right now we're testing this. So as soon as we are comfortable with the release, we will let you know a couple of days ahead when the actual release date will be.
Important to make sure that everything is perfect here, because the platform will be trading money of investors, so there is no room for any errors, for any bugs, and we have to make sure that it's as safe as it can be. And here you can see some screenshots from the application. So here is the desktop version. You will be able to create limit orders and in a single interface also jump between a chart, jump between an audit here. So I think that this will be a very cool to use interface for people who are not familiar with decentralized exchanges, because you won't have to worry about things like slippage, trying to find the best price. And let's highlight this again, that basically with this feature, it will not be a simple decentralized exchange, but this will enable people to actually save money to get tokens for the best price, because especially in times like this, where when there are huge swings across different liquidity pools, across exchanges and so on, so there can be huge price differences. And if you only know PancakeSwap, for example, or like on other chains, other liquidity pools, there is Curve and so on, for example, on Ethereum. So you may just get 20% worse price or so. So here the algorithm will make sure that you get the best price. It will use our AI splitting mechanism to split the order between different liquidity pools to get the best possible price. And also we want to have to worry about any technical things like like gas, like slippage and so on. This will be all done automatically, and you will be also able to jump between chart, audit, and other upcoming features. Here are some other screenshots, as you can see. Yeah, and I think that as for the development, as for the design, the core functionalities, this is pretty much done. But as Marius and I have mentioned, we have to make sure this is perfect, this is safe. Yeah, so but you can expect it pretty soon. Yeah, so I think that we covered pretty much everything, the most important things coming. So we can move to the AMA. So if anyone has any questions, so please raise your hand and we'll be happy to answer that.
All right, we got Jocks Seller. Might have to unmute your mic.
Yeah, hi. Are you able to comment as to why MEXC have disabled move deposits and the time frame for resolution for that? Obviously, when MEXC and Move launched, it incorporated a trading competition which finishes on the 14th, 2 days' time, but no one can participate due to the limit on the deposits.
Michael, are you aware of this?
So I'm not really aware of this, but we are in contact with them, so we can pretty much ask them directly. So thank you for letting us know that there is such a problem, and we'll reach out to them ASAP.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's bring up Ken. Ken always likes to ask questions. Good to see a familiar face. Might have to unmute.
Hey guys, I appreciate your time. I was just wondering, last AMA, you had mentioned something about the development on the cross-chain, multi-chain capabilities. I was wondering if you guys had made any further progress and if you have a possible date or some kind of time frame of when you think that could be implemented.
Sure. So basically the first step is the exchange and staking available on the Binance Smart Chain. So this will help the users familiarize with the interface, get some comments and so on. And in the meantime, as this is already released, we will be adding the cross-chain, multi-chain functionalities. So this is still in plans after the release of the action and staking.
And we have been testing different chains so far, like Avalanche, Ethereum, and so on. And as Marius has mentioned, we want to first battle test the platform on BSC, because this is our biggest user base, but then we will expand to other chains here. And and the progress itself, I mean, the research and some tests are going very well. But as for the release itself, as Marius has mentioned, this will be upcoming after the actual release of the first version, the first full version.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right. Raise your hand if you have any questions, guys, and we'll be happy to bring you up. There's a lot of you that, all throughout the week are, hey, they ask a question we don't know the answer to. Now's your chance to ask the founders yourself. All right, we got CK coming in. Unmute your mic if you can.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Bright and clear.
Yeah, we can.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for always doing this every week when you guys can. Know you guys are doing a lot of stuff. I guess my one question is in regard to like the roadmap that shows on the site. Obviously, there's been changes. I know that we've had community votes to like move up the reward program instead of staking program. So I know it doesn't really line up as what it was originally. Is there any way to like get that updated, or just kind of get a new, I mean, just even like a tweet or something that would show kind of like what the current, all right, we've completed ABC, what's up for, DEF coming up now that we've kind of moved the arrangements around? Because I think that's probably the, like, okay, are we waiting on staking next, or then is it going to be the whole move exchange next? What are those? And I know everything is, you don't have a hard date. You're not saying, okay, that's going to be August 17th, it's going to be done. But, is it going to be, August, aiming for August, September, or, July, or whenever those things, if there could be an update to that, that'd be fantastic.
Sure. So first, I think it's worth mentioning that the next upcoming release is Move Exchange, and the staking will come after that. And there are no plans for changing that, because this is already pretty much done. We need to have some additional tests, security tests, and so on, but this won't change. And as for next releases after that, this should not change also. So we can obviously. And I think this is a very good idea. We have been preparing a Medium post to just give an update to the to the current users of the platform who have been with us from the very beginning, or like a couple of months, but also to the new investors who are pretty new to the project. So there will be a Medium post coming discussing the development made so far, features which were released, and also discuss the future plans. So you can expect this next week. This Medium post, and we will also give you an update on estimates for next releases. But the next upcoming thing is Move Exchange, and this won't change.
Perfect. That's great. Yeah, because new people coming to the project, if they go look and pull up the docs or whatever, they're, they might go, oh, well, this said it was going to be done Q1. Where's this at? How do I find this or whatever? And then it creates extra questions in the chat and the Telegram or Discord and everything like that. So just something that would just either just a quick update of moving those things around. And then when you say Move Exchange, I know you said you want everything to be perfect, and obviously, yeah, that makes sense, because you don't want to have hiccups and then it just kind of be a big thing and then become a dud because there was a major error or something like that. Not only just the way it looks, but also because of, possible, security and funds and everything. When you say that's coming up next, like, is that by end of summer? Is that in the next, I know you don't have a date, but is that by end of year? Like what type of time frame do you guys anticipate?
So I think maybe Marius, you can answer this since you are in the development, but to give you a date, I think like within the next month or two should be the release. Yeah, Marius, if you could comment on that.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate.
Yeah, because with the current market conditions and basically some issues with other exchanges, we want to make sure that there is no room for any exploits, any security breaches and so on. And once we have this done, once we are fully comfortable with the release, so this will be that. But within the next month or two, you can expect it. And as for the development roadmap, development updates, so this will be updated both in the Gitbook along with the Medium post coming next week. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, so if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I think we can take like 2 or 3 more.
All right, we got Gene Coate coming up. Just might have to unmute your mic there.
Hi, how do you see the current market conditions affecting your marketing plan and the outreach?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So definitely, putting a big budget on marketing would not make sense. So we currently focus on the social media efforts. So as you could see, the Twitter efforts where we have much better impression, much better, much bigger exposure. And also we want to focus on the organic marketing, because from our perspective, before the market recovers, it's best to go with the organic marketing, which doesn't require funding or apart from the funding of the team. But as for paid influencers, as for ads and so on, so we've observed that results are currently much worse than they used to be even 2 weeks ago. So just to put it short, we will go with the organic marketing, promoting the rewards program, focusing on the social media exposure, primarily Twitter, and this is the plan for now. And hopefully once the market recovers, so we plan to go with paid marketing, advertisement, and also some cooperation with MEXC, just to get things going, because obviously this was pretty, despite the market conditions, the listing went well with the volume and so on, but we can still capitalize on that. Yeah, so I think this would answer this.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so we can take another question.
All right, we got Manu X. Manu X, unmute your mic and you are ready to go. I see that rewards link in your bio. Good job there. Good job. Get that bread. Maybe you have to unmute your mic. You are ready to go. All right. So we can wait a sec for another one. If anybody's got a question, raise your hand. I think all things considered, the fact that there's not 30 people with questions is actually a good problem to have.
So maybe I think we can do a wrap up, and just to let you know, for people who joined late, so this AMA session will be uploaded on our YouTube just as usual. But I think that the biggest takeaway is that the biggest focus now is on the development and the organic marketing, because obviously this doesn't really make sense to push with the growth of the token once market conditions are bad. So this is the best time to focus on the development to make sure that the product delivered is of the best quality, and we are focusing just on that, primarily on that. Yeah, and that also the current or let's say the latest developments with regard to listing on MEXC and rewards, which have been going great, are very cool, and we want to capitalize on that. So this still has a huge potential. Imagine once the platform is released, and this will be very soon, we then plan to capitalize on rewards, on paid marketing. Hopefully the market looks much better for this, but also on the organic marketing. So basically, for rewards, this is organic marketing, YouTubers promoting this organically to get commission from the project. And this is like a win-win scenario, because the token price can increase and they can get some commission. But yeah, the main focus is on the development. And next week, there will be also a Medium post coming discussing the previous features, the current things we are working on, and as well as future plans. So, this is pretty much a wrap up. Maybe Marius, you have something to add?
No, that pretty much covers it.
Okay, guys. So this one was pretty quick. So have a great weekend, and don't worry too much, because this is crypto. Everything swings a lot, but this is the game. We'll just continue doing what we can do best, and we still have very cool things coming. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.
For joining today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.